To cross the Simpson Desert west to east by way of the French line, you must conquer 1,500 sand dunes that get progressively larger and culminate in the 40-metre high Goliath known as Big Red. The Simpson Desert lays in the red heart of Australia. It is a sand sea or erg and contains the world's longest parallel sand dunes. In this adventure, we are going to ride the French line, a track created during the seismic surveys for oil in the 1960s. We will head east along the French line until we reach Popple's Corner, where we will turn north on the River Tract and head past the Tropic of Capricorn, a total of 900 kilometres with the fuel that we have.
And on a beach in Old Bombay, and on the street amongst the rubble.
Deserts live for rain, and after the wettest season in years, the Simpson Desert put on an unforgettable display of colour and life for this ride. For 3 weeks, with support from friends, I rode the iconic trails of the Simpson, the French line, the WAA line, and the River Tract. But despite its raw beauty, the desert is a dangerous place for those unprepared or for those that momentarily drop their guard.
That was a big hit. Yeah, I just hit one of these whoops a bit too hard just up here.
And the rain brought with it new challenges rarely experienced. For the most part, my four-wheel drive buddies coped with the conditions pretty well, but they did have their moments.
Whoa. He's giving it too much, he'll roll if he's not careful.
Our first crossing of the Simpson was a big one, where we took on 900 kilometres with the fuel that we carried. We entered the French line from the west and headed east to Popple's Corner, where we turned north to complete the less travelled but longer River Tract. The River Tract riding conditions were far more varied than those of the French line, as the majority of the track traverses parallel with the sand dunes rather than up over them. It also winds through the riverbed for lengthy periods. The mud at times still proved a challenge.
Well, this is interesting. My panniers are dragging on the ground.
But even on the River Tract, the rain never left us.
I can't believe it. It's just started sprinkling in the desert. You know, it's a very rare event. But to the north there, I'm looking to the northwest, and there's some really dark clouds. I don't know what happens to this soil in the wet. It's a bit more sandy than the clay.
The River Tract takes you into the lower tropics and to the far northern extremities of the Simpson.
Tropic of Capricorn! You little ripper!
At Batten Hill, we caught up
Nah.
with Max, who took us on a bush tucker
Need something
tour
more?
to get a taste of collecting and eating the traditional foods of the area. Bush coconut, bush banana, goanna were all for the offering. The trick was knowing where to find it, and as I was to learn, just as importantly, how to get it. Getting some bush coconut proved to be a real challenge for Max and I.
Here you go. Oh, here you go. Oh. Bush coconut, Max and I.
No worries. Show you later. Open him and eat him.
While we were chasing the food, we didn't realise our mates had driven off without us.
Well, Max and I have been left behind.
Yeah, what the heck?
We got the food though.
We got the food, we got the bush banana and the bush coconut. Yeah.
Just don't have the Toyota.
Nah. And the powdery stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
You eat all that too. And the white
I
outer.
didn't mind the bush coconut, it tasted a little bit like dried almonds, I suppose.
Outside of the.
The further north we headed, the wetter it got.
Welcome to the River Tract, place where there's supposed to be desert, no water. This challenging twin trail with mud all through it. Makes life difficult.
Well, at least someone was enjoying the water. After 6 days in the desert, arriving at Jervois was a relief, and it was time to reflect on what we had achieved so far.
So a quick rundown on where we've been. We came from Oodnadatta, up the Oodnadatta track, turned off, came north through Hamilton, Aringaruin, across to Mount Dare where we refuelled, back down through Dalhousie, across Perny Bore, the French line, all the way to Popple's Corner, and then we headed due north straight up the Hay River, and it's a long distance up the Hay River. We must be right up around about where that E is at the moment as we hit the Plenty Highway.
What we didn't know at that stage was further rain had hit Central Australia, and getting back to the Simpson to make the third crossing was going to be a challenge in itself.